we take a look, there is a significant amount of search for mason jars on Amazon. I have subsequently found out, let me get the right number, big number, that this particular listing does 150,000 US dollars a month in sales, 150,000 US dollars a month, this listing, which is a lot. So there's a lot of search there. It's a very, very competitive category as well. And so I just thought it'd be kind of neat to go through it and have a look at what we like about it and what we can learn from it, because there's always cool things to learn. So the things that I really like is this packaging. I really, really like that. And I really like the fact that they've covered the mason jars. And here's why. Like if you look at the search here, it's actually very, very different. Like that's what Amazon wants you to present. Okay, remember? White background, product on it. White background, product on it. But if you did that, your product gets completely lost. Whereas these, like these stick out really, really well. Actually, they've got 2 in the top search, which is pretty sexy. They stick out really, really well. They've been able to put the packaging in because the packaging, of course, is part and parcel of the product. Thereby, it's allowed in your hero image. So they've leveraged that. But compared to all the others, like you could, maybe that's a nice way of doing it if somebody's looking for that particular style. But other than that, like that's almost a pretty good way of doing it because they've managed to get, says mason jars, which is the search term, 6-pack, which is the quantity. So they've managed to put 2 big elements of click-through ratios onto it, which I really like. But other than that, most everybody else, it's kind of crappy. Canning jars. The other things I really like about this as well is the way that they've written everything. So Elkie and Friends, Kids and Toddlers Cups, the original glass mason jars, that's the search term, glass mason jars. Look how far down that is in terms of like word order to have that very, very primary search term there. You'd imagine toddler cups is a search term, but not as much of a search term as that. And yet it ranks really, really well, which kind of goes against what we know about positioning search terms in the title. As always, exceptions to the rule, but still. And then I also like, what's the first thing you notice about this, about these bullet points? 7 bullet points on this particular style guide. They're on this particular category. There's 7 bullet points available to them, which is kind of interesting. I wonder how that is the case. Anyway, so I really think they've done a good job with their bullet points as well. There's some really good stuff there. Let's just scroll down. And then they've got A+ content on. And again, their A+ content is done very, very well as well. Look how they stick out because of just that one element, because they put the packaging on, it's really enabled them to stick out. Anyway, I thought it's kind of cool. That particular listing, that's $150,000 per year, per month, not per year. So they are not selling on Amazon in Australia. Who does sell? Everybody on page 1, other than those, which is really not a very good job. Everybody on page 1 is doing this shitty kind of that style rather than doing something interesting like that. Okay. Amazon is competitive. Is it? Or is it just full of a lot of people who don't know what they're doing? I would argue it is the latter rather than the former. So amazon.com.au, there's nobody doing a good job of selling mason jars on that particular one.